Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. Now if you play the World of Warcraft, you're probably aware by now that in the next expansion, Legion, every class is getting an artifact weapon. And this weapon is going to be the only one that you use throughout the course of the whole expansion. Don't worry, plenty of customization, plenty of upgrading to do along the way. So, what I thought I'd do in a series of videos is take each of those classes and have a look at the artifact weapons which are going to be assigned to each of the specs. And I'm going to pick a class at random to start us off with, and I think I'll start with Warlock. Okay, right, I'm a little bit selfish. Warlock's my class. I thought I'd start with this one. But not only that, but because also one of the Warlock specs has a very unique artifact weapon indeed. So let's have a look at Affliction first, and the artifact weapon that you'll be wielding is a scythe called Uthalas, the Dead Wind Harvester. Now already in the title of the weapon we've got Dead Wind, which means Dead Wind Pass, which means Karazhan, and then by the side we see this very nice little lore segment that's attached to each of the artifact weapons. So let's just go through that. The first Necrolite to walk the world of Azeroth, Satil, was given this scythe by the Titan Sargeras himself. It grows in power as it draws souls from its victims. The Harvester earned its name as Satil methodically drained all life from the hapless inhabitants of Deadwind Pass, creating a potent magical nexus there in the process. Hunting down Satil, the guardian of Tirisfal, turned the scythe on her, sending her soul to join those of her victims. Eventually, the Dark Riders recovered the weapon and secreted it beneath the Tower of Karazhan. So there you go, it actually confirms that the artifact weapon is currently under Karazhan. And at BlizzCon, Blizzard also decided to let slip that you'll be going into a brand new area underneath Karazhan to find it, the Karazhan Catacombs. So that in itself also made me rather excited to get my hands on this. Now, the animated figure that you can see, I believe that to be the original format of the artifact weapons. That's what it's going to be like when you first get it. And then down on the right-hand side there, that's one of the evolutions of the weapon as it grows more powerful and you put spells and abilities and whatnot into it as well. But do recall that you can customize it, so you know, you might not like it red, you might want it gold, you might just want it to match the transmog that you're wearing. There are plenty of customization options when it comes to your artifact weapon. Next up we have Demonology, and you should already see something completely different about this artifact weapon. Whereas all the others that we'll eventually see are axes and staffs and daggers and swords and all that kind of jazz. This is a skull. This is something new, something we've never seen before in the world of Warcraft, and it just floats there as well. It's not as if the Warlock actually holds it. We've got this floating skull in front of us where the Demonology Lock will channel their magics through it and then outwards to wherever it's going to hit. Now, it's called the Skull of the Man'ari, and the lore attached to it says, before the Eridar served the Titan Sargeras, one of their greatest leaders, Thalkil, had unprecedented skill with summoning and binding magics. Driven by ambition, he reached into the void and was answered with knowledge of dark creatures unlike any the Eridar had seen before. His audacious power grab infuriated the Demon Lord Archimonde, who struck him down, then had his skull gilded and placed on display as a warning. Today, the Dreadlord Mephistroth uses it to enhance his ability to summon and command demon armies for the Legion. Now again, the animated figure that we see, that's the base model of the artifact weapon. That's what it's going to look like in its starting format. And then the one down to the left-hand side in this case is one of the transformations, one of the evolutions of the artifact, should you wish to do so. And can I just say, the one here kind of looks a little bit like a Pit Lord skull, Whereas the first one's a Dreadlord skull, this one looks like a Pit Lord skull, so maybe the evolutions, the other evolutions that you'll get with a skull, may turn it into different forms of the demons that we know in the game today. But one thing I think we can be sure of, to get hold of the skull of the Man'ari, we're going to have to prize it from the cold, dead hand of that Dreadlord Mephistroth. So finally we have destruction, and with a very short, sweet but grandiose title for their artifact weapon, Scepter of Sargeras. And the lore says, created through incredible effort by hundreds of Sargeras' servants, this scepter can rip open dimensional gateways between worlds. It was entombed beneath the sea for centuries, then used by the orc shaman Nazul to open the portals that tore the world of Draenor apart, leaving behind the shattered realm of Outland. The scepter was finally secured by the elite magi of the Kirin Tor. Unable to destroy it, they hid it away in a magically protected chamber and put it under eternal watch to prevent it from ever being used again. Now, I really like the lore attached to it, and of course the name Sargeras gives it that huge kind of big ass feel, but the fact that it was used by Nazul to open the portals that tore Draenor apart, God, I wish I had that artifact weapon right now. I would put it to great use with the current content in the game. But other than that, it's very easy to work out how we get the other artifact weapons. The scythe, we would go into the catacombs of Karazhan, fight our way through there probably, and end up eventually getting it. With the skull for demonology, we'll have to kill the Dreadlord to grab that one. But this one, it's being protected by the Kirin Tor, and we're not aggressive or at war with the Kirin Tor, even though it is being protected by it. So what is going to entail, what's going to happen that will allow the Kirin Tor for us to possess this weapon that they never ever wanted anybody to ever use again? Maybe something to do with the Violet Hold, perhaps. It's all up for speculation at the moment. And once more, the original, it's OG look on the animated figure, and then down on the right hand side, that's another one of its transformations, its evolutions. So what do you think of the Warlock's artifact weapons? I mean, going back to the Affliction one, scythes always look cool, so I like that full stop. The skull for the Demonology Warlocks, that's going to be very interesting because we know there are some changes to Demonology, losing Metamorphosis, but gaining the ability to command multiple demons, not just one. And then the Scepter of Sargeras. I think it looks good, I think it looks cool, and it has a freaking brilliant title to go alongside it. So let me know what you guys and gals think in the comments section down below. And I hope you enjoyed this vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. And don't worry, all the classes artifact weapons. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.